There's been so much hype around it, I'm sure the car next to me needs no introduction. But now that we've finally got a Nissan Leaf to try on UK roads, the key question is how far it will travel on a single charge. Now Nissan say it'll do about 109 miles on a full charge, which this Leaf has got, having been in our studio charging overnight. It takes 12 hours to charge it from a regular plug. Let's see what sort of distance we get today. Starting the Leaf up for the first time today, it's actually showing a range of 120 miles from its 24 kilowatt hour battery. So we're going to go for a bit of a drive, take in a mixture of roads, a bit of urban stuff, a little bit of motorway, and just see how far we get. On Nissan's website for the Leaf, it gives you a few tips on how to improve your range, and one of those is to assume a Zen-like driving approach. I'm not sure about that, but I'm certainly going to drive smoothly today. If you want the car to help you out with that, you can put it into its eco mode that smooths out the power delivery and enhances the regenerative braking, and that's boosted our indicated range by 14 miles. But for the purposes of this experiment, I'm going to ignore the eco mode. One other thing that's important is how you use the heating and cooling. Now today it's 11 degrees, so we don't necessarily need to have the aircon on, but I wouldn't mind having the fan on. Currently we've got everything off, 109 miles showing, pop the fan on, drops down to 79 miles. So from our start at 120 miles, we've done 4.6 miles and we're already down to less than 80 miles. Driving the Leaf on the roads around our office, it makes a pretty good family car. There's plenty of space in here, it feels well put together, and it's relatively intuitive to use, and it's something to drive. Well, it's not that far off a conventional car. The steering, being electric, doesn't have that much feel, but in truth it's no worse than any other similar system. The powertrain gives you plenty of get up and go for urban speeds at least. The major disadvantage, the brakes, which feel quite artificial. However, the Leaf really needs to offer more than a city runabout, especially when you consider the price. Even with the government incentive of £5,000, the Leaf costs £25,000. To see how well it copes, we've come out of town onto the motorway. The electric motor provides the equivalent of about 109 brake horsepower. We've already tested the Leaf at the track and it hit 60 in just under 11 seconds, meaning it's broadly on par with a 1.6 litre diesel Focus. And actually it copes relatively well on the motorway. We're now doing 70 miles an hour, it's very quiet, and we've still got a reasonable amount of performance in reserve for overtaking. But, and it's a big but, at this speed you're draining the battery very quickly. Motorway use isn't really what the Leaf is designed for, so we're not going to stay on here for long. We'll come off onto some slower roads, and I reckon once we're there, that predicted range is going to come back up a bit. Right, we're into the danger zone now. We've only got 6 miles remaining and all the warning lights have come on. Now, because I don't want to make the evening traffic news, we've come to a track where we can safely run the car out without causing too much disruption. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because the range indicator has given up. It's just flashing at me now. We've done 70 miles today, but much in the same way as your normal petrol car will generally go on a little bit beyond the point in which it says it's completely empty. I reckon we've still got a few miles left in the Leaf's battery. Right, so 4.6 miles after it said it should have run out, I've got a tortoise appear on the dashboard. My motor power is limited. We're going very slowly. I think the end is near. So that's it. Total distance today, 74.7 miles, and the battery completely flat now. Even though in today's test the Leaf has fallen significantly short of Nissan's claimed 109 mile range, I'm still pretty impressed with what it offers. Partly that's because official tests are never a measure of what you can get in the real world, where for a lot of people a 70 mile range will be sufficient. But mostly because compared to other electric cars, the Leaf demands far fewer compromises.